So I thought that it would be cool
Okay.
to host a celebration from this past month as we're getting to the last couple of days of January. And I just wanted to celebrate what we have created so far and bring in some new energy so that we can create an amazing February.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Do some creative visualizing, do some journal
Oh,
prompts.
I want to know. I want to see if I can show you jingles. You see jingles?
Hello,
Look,
Jingle.
look, look,
Jingle.
look, look.
Aw, look at him. Yeah, I think I told you that I had a cat named Jingle.
Yes, you did. That's right.
Yep.
Yes, it is a good name. It is a good name.
It is. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you guys are there celebrating. Are you getting a dumping of snow today?
I don't think so. I think there was just a little bit of snow this morning, but no,
Good.
no. How about you?
Oh yeah, we're in for like a huge storm.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah. When I took Miller out, hi Daisy. Daisy's here with us. Hello, hello. When I took Miller out, I had to shovel some of the snow from the steps because the snow was up 2 steps,
Oh, wow.
as high as 2 steps. So I don't know what that is, 3 feet or so.
Well, we're just listening in. Cool.
Yeah, crazy. Hi. So Daisy says she's at work listening in. So happy to be here. Yay. So happy to have you. Nancy, it's been so long since I've seen your smiling face. Hello. How are you? You're good?
Right.
Awesome.
Hi.
Nancy was in Manifesting Your Sleep with us, which was so much fun.
Yes, I'm sorry I missed that. I wish I had done that. So, yeah.
We'll do it
Very
again.
powerful.
We'll do it again. Awesome. So I'm so glad that you guys are here and wanted to record this so we can maybe share it in the energetic alignment community. And I wanted to bring in some energy and celebrate what we've created thus far. I know last year and the year before were very hectic, challenging years, challenging times for a lot of people. So I wanted to do an energy clearing. We're going to do some creative visualization. We're going to do some intention work and call in some new beautiful energy to bring into February. And when we celebrate what we've created so far, that tells our reticular activating system, that tells the universe, God, source, this is what I want. So I'd like for you to take a minute right now, just think of a handful of things that's in your life right now. It can be one, it can be five, it can be a dozen. Those things that really light you up, those things that you can celebrate right now. The things that you're grateful for, the people that you're grateful for. We just met Mary's grand puppy, Jingle. He's gorgeous. Can be the fur babies in your life, your children, your siblings. Can be everything that's around you right now. Even if there's some challenges around you, what I love to do with challenges is it's kind of a little sneaky. But whatever that challenge is, I want you to imagine that challenge, even if it's a person that you've had some challenges with, I want you to think of them as this beautiful container, and you ask God, source, universe, to fill that person or that challenge up with love. And just imagine all of this love just pouring into this challenge or this person or this thing that hasn't really been easy for you, maybe. Fill that up with love from God, source, universe. And we're here to celebrate your money manifestation. When we celebrate something, the universe, God, source, our subconscious, our reticular activating system knows 100%, oh, you want more of that. So looking at the money that you've generated, created, actualized, manifested from January, if it was $10, if it was 1,000, if it was 10,000 or more, be tuned into that energy, that vibration of the money that you generated, the money that you actualized in January, no matter what it was, being grateful for that money. No matter what that amount was, being grateful for that money. And we've held money in our hand so many times that you can actually imagine a 20, a bill in your hand, what that feels like. What does that feel like to hold money in your hand? What does that feel like to place money in your wallet? Calling that memory in, calling in what that feels like. How many times have you put money into your wallet, taken money out of your wallet? And so often we get stuck in the it's not enough-ness of money. But remember, the last time you put money into your wallet, the time before that, maybe you took money out. So isn't that funny that you put it in your wallet and then you take it out and then you can put it back in again? Celebrating that ebb and flow, that natural recurrence of money just comes. It's just there. It's just available. It's just like breath, like the air around you. Because money really is energy. And when we say that, the money is always available. I want you to feel into your body, whatever comes up with that, whatever that brings up. It could be, Jillian, what the heck are you talking about? That's not true. Or it could be that that's true for you, or maybe it's not true for me. It doesn't feel like it's true for me. That's not what I witness every single day. Whatever that is coming up, You could be agreeing with me. Yep, you're absolutely right. I see that every day, or I see that every week, or I see that every month. Whatever that is for you, money is a renewable resource. It's always recurring in your life. And whatever that brings up for you, feel that in your body. Allow your body to show you where that's resonating and how that's resonating. And whether it's a good resonance or a not so good resonance, thank your body for that feedback. Say, thank you, body. Whatever that is, if it's a good feeling, expand that feeling out to encompass your whole body. If it's not such a good feeling, I want you to bring that out as an energy ball in front of your body. And you can ask those powerful questions that we ask all the time in the work with kinetic divination. Is this mine? Does that really belong to me? Or have I bought it? Does it really belong to somebody else? Do I want it? Is it benefiting me in some way? Or does it feel safe to release that? Anything that feels heavy, anything that feels wrong, anything that feels like a lie, anything that feels like it's not going to contribute to the money that's in my wallet or my bank account right now. Can I just release that? And even if it doesn't feel totally, completely safe to release all of it right now, you may have had this for more than a minute. For the next 10 seconds, as per Access Consciousness talks about, can you live your life for the next 10 seconds without that belief? If that belief is limiting your manifestation of money in any way, can you live for the next 10 seconds without that belief? Does that feel okay? Does that feel safe? And ask your body, what can we believe instead? Celebrating what you can create right now. And creation can be fast. Money loves speed. The universe loves speed. You can create really quickly. Think of the last time you created something that was really fast. Maybe it wasn't a great situation and you're like, oh boy, something's going to hit the fan right about now and I need to manifest like a, you know what. So maybe it wasn't a great situation, but you did it. You can manifest fast. Now, I'm going to hold the image of the last time you really celebrated. Doesn't matter what it was. If it was a birthday, yours or someone else's, birth of a child. Maybe when you got, if you have fur babies, You got your little baby puppy or little kitten. I have 2 cats right now. They're, bratty teenagers right now. So sometimes I don't celebrate them because they're kind of brats. And they yell at me all the time. All the time. They want to eat all the time. And I say, no, you just ate 20 minutes ago. And they yell at me. I have to record my cat Minx because she'll actually run down the hall and she'll actually it's like a teenager telling her mom off. She'll run down the hall and she'll actually be telling me off in cat language because she wants to eat and she just ate 20 minutes ago and I'm saying, no, you can't eat right now. So it's sometimes, you have to think back to when that little baby, sweet little kitty, celebrating that. Think of that last celebration. Now think of the last time you had some money come into your life. Doesn't matter how much it was. If it's an amount that really excited you. Thinking about that celebration. Tuning into that celebration. How good that feels. How available that feels. And you know that you did it once. It doesn't matter if it was yesterday or if it was last month or it was a year ago. It doesn't matter when it was. You know that you did it once. So you know that it can come to you again. So whatever that amount was, I now want you to double it. Whatever that amount of money was. Whatever amount of money you brought into your existence, you celebrated, I want you to double that amount. And creating an anchor, which is like a mantra or an affirmation, creating an anchor around being this new amount that you're claiming right now. I'm so grateful that this is now available for me to choose. And now feel into your body where that feels good. Doing a body scan, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, root. Where does that feel good? Where's that 100% on board? And now body scan, which part of your body, if at all, is saying, no. That doesn't feel safe, that doesn't feel available. That doesn't feel possible. Wherever that is, asking, is that mine? Is that my belief? Is that my story? And if that's not mine, can I eject that from my body? Does it feel safe to flip that story into I can have do be this? I can demand that this create. I can expect that this creates? Does that feel safe? And if you're on kind of teeter-totter, back and forth, kind of feels safe, but it's not quite there. Can you feel that that's available to you to choose for the next 10 seconds? If for the next 10 seconds, you just were that identity of yourself that gets to demand, gets to choose, gets to claim, gets to expect. This is just who you are. You just get to have this. It just gets to be easy. There's no more struggle. What would that feel like? Breathing into that, pulling energy into that. And tuning into what you would like to create now. Creating an anchor statement or a short mantra around what you want to create now. And just like trying on a coat, you're going to try that on, try that energy on. I get to have this. I get to be this. Creating a visual representation of the end result of this. If you want to imagine a screen out in front of you, and play that scene. This just happened. Who do you phone? Who do you call? Who do you text? Who are you telling first that this just happened? Your desire came to fruition. So I just paid off my car yesterday. And the first people I told were my team in my monthly mastermind directed energy. So who are your tribe? Who are your people that you know will get what a big deal, what an amazing celebration that is, who will celebrate with you? Who are those people? And now I want you to fast forward about a month after the completion of your desire. And you have a new goal, a new desire that you want to create. And it feels kind of big. It's exciting. But you're like, I don't know if I can create that, be that. What do I have to do? What am I going to have to do? What kind of a person do I have to be? Do I have to hustle? Do I have to work harder than I really want? Because I really want this to be easy. Maybe it feels just a little bit bigger. And I want you to remember the month prior when you celebrated that goal. And you're like, oh, right. That goal felt big. but I did it. I created it. It manifested, it actualized. I got to share that with my favorite people, my team, my tribe. So go a month ahead and remember that new goal. And you know that it feels not as big now. You feel bigger. You feel in command of that. Now come back to now with this goal that you have for February. How does that goal feel? Creating an anchor statement, short and sweet anchor statement. And you'll have an anchor loop. You can get a pen and paper if you want, coming fully back to your body, back to the now. And I'd love for you to do a couple minutes of brain dump of that situation. What felt good? What felt a little bit not aligned yet, not really believable yet? Do a couple minutes of a brain dump around how that process was, what came up for you, and creating that short anchor statement. And then we'll do some coaching, healing around all of that stuff. And we'll get your loop, your anchor loop, totally locked in so that you can create within the next couple weeks. The first weeks of February, I want this created for you. All right. So last question before I open the floor to how you guys did with that creative visualization is, would having, doing, being what you want make other people uncomfortable? If you are obscenely successful, if you are obscenely wealthy, if it's just easy for you, you get to go, I'd like that. And it just manifests right into your life. Would that make other people uncomfortable? Would it make the people that you care about the most uncomfortable? There was a time when my car was taken from me because I couldn't pay the payments. And I had people in my life saying, you know what, you just give up on your business. Just stop. Who do you think that you are that you can do this? You're struggling. Your car was taken from you. Is your car going to be taken away again? And I said, maybe. If that's what it takes. If that's what it takes for me to bring this business that changes my life and changes other people's lives to the world, if I have to go through a little bit of uncomfortable living, that's my choice. I choose this and I'll choose it again. And now, yesterday, I paid off my car. So that person that said that to me doesn't get to celebrate with me. But the uncomfort of me choosing my business, the discomfort for me, and me making somebody else uncomfortable because I kept choosing situations where I could have lost my car, I still chose it. And feeling into the energy of that. If I choose this, if I have this, and now that was a situation that was uncomfortable with me losing my car. That wasn't a great situation that I don't want for anybody. But I knew that if I stayed the course, I would be here, where my car is paid off. I get to receive abundance now. So, does receiving abundance and wealth and success, would that possibly make other people uncomfortable? And does that feel big? Tuning into the energy of that. Does that feel big? Because we want the people in our life, most of the time, to be comfortable. We want the people that we love to be comfortable, to be proud of us. To be a part of this journey. And going back to some of those questions, Is that mine? Is that somebody else's? Does it feel safer to have this? I'm just trying to invite somebody. They can't get in. Is it benefiting you in some way? Is it benefiting them in some way by you aligning and agreeing with that point of view? Or does it feel safe? Does it feel available for you to choose something different? To release any of the momentum, any of the energy that is creating the, that feels a little bit big. It kind of feels like Everest, insurmountable for me anyway. Other people have climbed Everest. Not this human. Mm-mm. So what is coming up around that, or your creative visualization or your anchor? Let's work on getting you completely aligned with what you want to call in and create this next month. Feel free to unmute and chat. Hi, Mary.
My last sentence was, I can do this. I don't have to tell anyone what I'm doing. It's okay. I can just do it.
Mm. Love it.
And I guess when you talk about being uncomfortable, it would be me that's uncomfortable about doing it. But if I can just do it and not say anything, then what's the harm in that? There's no repercussions coming back from anyone because nobody knows except who I'm contacting.
Right.
And I have to say, it's a little bit of a story, but I went to two senior breakfasts, or the church that I was with had senior events. And so I went to them, and it's almost like it's not the same, but it's like Mary and Joseph going to the inn, and there's no place at the inn, right? So I would go to a table and I'd say, is this chair taken? And they would say yes. And then I would go to another table and I'd say, is there empty chair? No. So then I would go and sit by myself, and eventually people would come and sit with me. But I was like, well, this doesn't seem quite right. And I'm thinking to myself, how many widows, and we've talked about this, right? How many widows are out there that aren't going because they had the same experience?
Yeah.
So I think I might contact some places and say, do you have a widows group?
Mm.
Not just grief, but an actual widow group. And then maybe just start one.
Oh, that's so good. And that,
not just one place, but everywhere, like the senior centers and stuff like that.
absolutely.
My goal for February is to create that journal, like to actually create it and then order one and have it in my hot little hands.
Yes. So good.
Go from there. Yeah.
And that can be a post or a bunch of posts. You can, I would love to see you, and you guys, everybody listening, hear it on the replay. You can write down all of what you felt from that experience and brain dump and be really honest. Nobody's looking, so you can swear. Be really honest with how that made you feel. And this can be like a T chart. So you have a line in the middle, a line at the top, And what you experience can be on the left. And on the right, you can flip each of those experiences into a positive anchor. What you would like to create or have or do or be instead. And you can walk people through how you would, as a facilitator of CRM and kinetic divination, how you would coach people through creating a different experience.
Mhm.
So with subconscious programming your reticular activating system, going to an event like that, that's really, really tricky. So I want to acknowledge you for actually doing that. That's a huge win. When we're celebrating wins, this call is about money manifestation celebration. But I want to celebrate your win with that situation, because that is huge. Going by yourself and walking up to table after table after table, that's a huge celebration, because not a lot of people would do that. That shows a lot of strength and resiliency. So hopefully you've celebrated yourself with that, because oftentimes, and that's what this call is about. I want you guys to really acknowledge yourself for the celebrations. Like, just sometimes, dudes, getting up in the morning and putting your feet on the floor and lifting your butt off the bed. There are some days when you need to celebrate that. If you make it to the bathroom and you're brushing your teeth, celebrate that you got your ass out of bed. Because the past 2 years have been tough. And this year will be better. Hello, kitty. This year will be better. So celebrate. I don't care if you're celebrating I got my ass out of bed this morning, or if you're celebrating a win like you landed a client, you called in money, you created the book or the journal. It doesn't matter what it is. And I want you to celebrate, because sometimes we look at the things that we do, and Mary, I think Nancy and I have talked about this as well, like from Manifesting Your Sleep. We diminish everything that we're good at because it's easy and it's natural for us. Make sure you celebrate all the things that are things that only you can bring to this world. And ask, I have a lot of like Access Consciousness-esque questions, or actually from Access Consciousness videos, because I'm a stalker of Access Consciousness, not a facilitator. But if you ask the universe to show you evidence of what can only you bring to the world, universe, show me what only I can bring to the world. Because there's so much that only you can bring to the world. When I started showing up in this online space, I've been a healer for over 30 years. I've been a teacher or a coach for over 25 years. So I showed up on the online space, and then all of a sudden, reticular activating system, you think of a blue VW Beetle, and all of a sudden you start seeing them everywhere, right? Same thing. So I started showing up on the space, and I was seeing healer after healer after healer, coach after coach after coach doing the same thing that I wanted to do. So what did I do? And I actually had this vision in my head, Mary. This is so weird. But it was like I was walking up to a table going, thank you. It was like I was walking up to a table going, is somebody here? No. Okay, you're doing that. Okay, so I'd go somewhere else, and they would be doing the same thing that I wanted to do. And then, okay, so I can't go there. So I was searching instead of going, oh, here I am. Here I am. Wherever I am, that's where I be, right? I was looking for my perfect spot.
Yeah.
You are it. So with the coaching, what I would say is make sure you're programming the situation that you're walking into. On the drive there, I meet amazing people. Everybody is so welcoming and joyous and positive. I get to sit down at a table with the most amazing, welcoming people who make me feel like they're my people, they're my team, they're my tribe. And you're ranting. We call this like future riffing, or what is it called? Abraham Hicks calls it segment intending. But if you're just riffing on this is what I want to experience on the way to that situation, then your reticular activating system sets that in motion. So I would take each of those points that you wrote down around what I didn't like about that situation and flip them into the positive to create what you would like instead.
Cool.
But good for you. I'm celebrating you for actually doing that. That is huge. And our trauma, our pain is our purpose. That painful situation, you're now seeing this is the entrepreneur spirit, right? When we see a challenge or a pain, we create a business opportunity, which isn't a bad thing. That's a good thing. We see a pain and we know that there's a solution for it, and we create something that offers that solution. You just need to you can do, like, this is a free event. You can do free events like this, but bring it into a paid program. We are businesses. Bring it
I
into
figured that when I get an engagement, that I will bring journals with me.
Yeah.
And then here's the journals. I won't charge that much for them, just enough to cover the cost and maybe a little bit more. And then, yeah.
And then you have your group program or counseling on top of that. Yeah.
Yes. So the journal is just like, it's going to be pretty simple, like not more than 50 pages. So it's only going to be $6 or whatever. And then I could charge $10 for it, which is pretty reasonable.
And I want you homework for you. I want you to go online to Amazon and look up journals and look up the price of journals, because it's shocking. There are manifestation journals for like $25.
I actually went on to that. Was it Lulu, and the journal would be 51 pages, was $5.73
US.
So yes, well, that's, yeah. So yeah.
$27 Canadian. No, I'm just kidding.
$10, maybe. I'm not really sure. Depends on what happens with inflation. But anyways, I just want to get maybe 5 of them, and just have them. Well, we talked about that, so I'm going to do that in February. Good. I'm also going to do the Zoom calls on Monday nights.
Yeah. Good. And we'll talk. Mary's one of my students, so we'll talk in our session around an organic funnel.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Good job. So I know Daisy's at work, but if you can unmute and let us know how you're doing, let us know. And Nancy, how are you doing?
Actually, it's been an interesting journey since January, and I'm looking forward to February, hopefully. Well, actually, I do look forward to February because it's the way I describe it is massive upgrades have been happening. So I've been through a massive identity crisis as we all go through, as we evolve. So I guess now, I've started taking the courage to come back into the world again. even half the time I don't want to. And it's just finding that beautiful balance, because when you did the exercise just before, I noticed an interesting block. It's like my crown and my third eye is really open to that abundance, whereas the throat and the heart was like a little stuck. And I'm like, okay, there's something to work, and let it evolve and shift. My solar plexus feels asleep right now, so I'm like, this, I haven't felt this way ever in my life. So I'm like, this is new. This is an experience.
Is that yours?
Yeah, it's actually very interesting. It's mine.
Mm.
Which
Is that
I'm like,
from trauma from this life or a past life?
I don't know if it's a trauma. I just see it's almost like a mishmash, perhaps both.
Mm. Mm.
I think it's more family. Like I said, it's probably mine, but family,
Yeah.
geological.
Yes.
It's just like cracking open. I don't know the way I describe it. I'm like, I feel like I'm in a cocoon and it's painful.
Mhm.
That's just a transformation phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you can, really journal that out and journal everything that's coming up. Do some imagery around that. I just created a new book called Emergence, and in this new rendition of the book, there's a template to go through, but there's also a page, like a doodle page, because that imagery of the cocoon is so it's inviting. It's inviting because your energy body is showing you this is how I feel. Also, archetypally, you can tune into which archetype that is, right? We did a lot of archetype work in the Manifest in Your Sleep. It could be, you know, the inner child, the victim, saboteur, or prostitute archetype.
I did a quick reflection of that earlier this week, and I'm like, oh great. And I looked at all the lists, and I'm like, all of it came out. I'm like, great. All the shadow archetypes decided to come out and celebrate. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. And also, could this be, again, your pain is your purpose. You are, even though you're working through this, you're still one or two steps ahead of somebody else who's just coming into this. Could this be a program that you could offer and bring people into to work through this process with you?
I don't really. Oh, I did. I guess that's where I need to work on the courage part.
Yes. Courage, or is it fear of criticism? Because that's the throat chakra.
Both. I know that like there's this courage that wants to come out, which is from the
Yeah.
heart, and
Mm.
then it's just where I guess there is a subconscious fear of success and fear of criticism. I think it's more of success than it is criticism.
It's more what, sorry?
More fear of success than it is of criticism.
Oh, okay. And how safe is that fear of success keeping you?
It's pretty strong because I'm where I am right now because of it. Or
Yes.
me, I take responsibility for myself, but I allowed that to also be quite strong.
And how much does it benefit you to keep that fear of success?
I guess on a subconscious level, it's benefiting because it's a comfort zone. But on a conscious level and awareness level, it's like it's been very frustrating, and it's been pretty much peeing me off for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And even though we're in situations that are not comfortable because we want something else, we want either, you know, money is for our body, money is for the comfort of our body, for us to be comfortable, be warm enough, have enough food, be comfortable enough to have vacations and have ease in our life. So if it's creating and allowing in an amount of money or clients or not, wherever we are in our reality, whatever we're allowing to trickle into our reality, that is known. No matter how painful or limited it may be, that's known. So if we're jumping from the known to an unknown, and we don't know what that looks like, then everything in our being will go, no. Nope, not even though I'm not really comfortable or this isn't cozy at all, and I don't want this anymore, it's still benefiting me. It's still safer because this is what I know.
Yeah.
So what I would suggest is to work with those archetypes and ask them one by one. Inner child, what would having 10K months look like for us? What could you play with? What could you create? What would you like to have? Would you like to have weekly manicures and pedicures? Would you like to have somebody come in and cook us meals and clean our house so that we can have more time in ease in building our business? What kind of relationship would you like with the entity of our business? Because our businesses are an entity. There's energy there. So if you get your archetypes to connect with the energy of your business and start to communicate and start to create and build momentum of energy by themselves, give them that freedom. Because oftentimes if we're hovering, if we're micromanaging our business and we feel like we need to be on top of every single step, that's no fun. So if we work with the archetypes and the entity of our business to create kind of on their own, then that brings a really fresh energy in. So once you do that with the inner child archetype, go to the victim and say, okay, same thing. What would you like to create? What would 10K months look like for you? And ask that of all of the archetypes and just kind of let them bring to light, bring to mind that vision. And once you have a vision of what that looks like, then it's not as scary to go from, okay, I don't like being here, but it's known and it's comfortable, to, okay, I can envision that now. Does that make sense? How does that feel?
Actually, I actually feel better. I kind of did a little bit, but not in depth. So that's the next step to go for. And what I find interesting, yeah, would you say an upgrade can be somewhat painful? Because like you mentioned, sometimes our bodies will reflect on what comes up. And I notice there's a lot of interesting physical science that's just showcasing stuff.
How much water are you drinking? How hydrated are you every day?
On a most consistent level, mine's the last 2 days because I'm on film sets again. It's been pretty regular.
Okay, good. Yeah. I would suggest, yes, ascension sickness is an actual thing. If you're hydrating and if you're drinking a lot of water, then that kind of diminishes it. But it's one, expectation or perception. Our expectations create our reality. And two, is it yours? So is this my energy? If you're on film sets again, and if you're around a lot of creative energy, we as creatives love that energy and we want to play in that energy. And oftentimes we don't take the time at the end of a day or the beginning of our day to program what we're allowing in our space and what we're not. And at the end of the day, we're not ejecting any of that. So I would really take the time to eject everybody else's energy, saging, I use water a lot. I'm a water sign. So every night I have a bath and I'm just, like the astrological crab in a bath. I just bask, just, right? And I think you and I are very similar. We're high mental processes. So water neutralizes any of that mental charge. Because if we're in high beta brain a lot of the time, even with creative, we like it. It's a beautiful kind of mesh up of that mental capacity and that creative flow, but it's still beta brain. It's still high functioning mental capacity. So if you can, if you like baths or showers, that can be really helpful because water neutralizes that electrical beta brain frequency at the end of the day. So that may help. But yeah, make sure that you're ejecting everybody else's energy from your body.
Yeah, I've been doing lighting a red candle, having a shower before bed. So I'm getting back in that routine because what I noticed is like the high self. Would you say is that an archetype? Actually, curiosity, because this is probably interesting for myself at the moment. Our archetypes and our higher self. I noticed that the shadow is conflicting a lot with the higher. So how would you explain that? Because like I noticed, like I know it's an upgrade, and right now the upgrade is like physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, like all four layers of the conscious, subconscious, superconscious, etc. There's like an interesting kind of pain right now.
Yeah.
So what would you
Yeah.
see in advice?
Yeah, what I would write out what you would like to experience in your upgrades and how you want to experience upgrades because we're constantly upgrading, right? How do I want these upgrades to happen? How much ease would I like in these? And then, sorry if you guys hear my tummy rumbling. No, okay, cool. Ask how you would like to experience the ascensions because they don't stop. And when we choose this spiritual journey, they can be massive. And you have a lot of tools under your belt, so you can implement these tools and you'll begin to see kind of the same, especially with these archetypes, the same sort of blocks, resistant expectations, stories coming up each time we ascend. So you'll get used to, oh, there's that thought again. Oh my gosh, right? And you can just go ping, and then there it goes. It's done. But for the first like 7 to 10 or maybe even 12 times that we go through this ascension, we have to kind of map it out each and every time for ourselves. So asking how you want that process to be, how much ease you would like instead of struggle. And then when you've mapped that out and you know exactly how easy you want it, check in with those archetypes again, each one, and check and see what rules they have that are getting in the way of that being easy.
Yep, that is awesome.
How does that feel? Yeah.
Thanks for the reminder, because I have been using the scale.
Yep.
The white. It's useful because I can notice that we can flip it really quickly. Like, well, at least I know that I can shift it really quickly. I notice that when I'm not conscious of it, it kind of does its own thing again. And I'm like,
yes. So remember with that to do your pre-work. So get in your neutral. So everybody, hello, Alana. How are you? I saw you sneak in.
Hi, doing good. How are you?
Hi. Good to have you. The replay will be available, you guys. We did a really great meditation, creative visualization exercise. So that the replay will be available. But tuning into your neutral activities, doing the K27 points, tapping on those, sitting in gratitude for at least 20 seconds. Thumping on the thymus thump, the middle of your sternum. This is a really good immune booster as well, the thymus thump. And the mastoid process is that bony part right behind your ear. So if you're tapping on that as well, that neutralizes any emotional attachment to what we're trying to shift. Yeah. So doing those neutralization exercises right before you're shifting can help with it bouncing back. So if you test something at 70% and then you shift it and you're like, okay, good, awesome. And then you notice the next day, wait a minute, that just bounced right back to 70 or even 65 or 60, right? So those neutralization exercises will help you to be able to shift something and get it to stay where you shifted it to. The other question is tune into where it's getting stuck in your body, because your chakras will tell you this fear of criticism or the fear of success is coming up and not allowing me to bring this 70% down. And then your chakras will lead you into what story is there that you can work with. Yeah.
That's actually, yeah, no, I agree with you. And what about if you can feel, it's breath work and actually, because I know sometimes when we do like the deep breath and stuff, would you say, because I still love listening to your alpha playlist as a default, what would be a nice way of also releasing this energy? Because I noticed there's like an interesting accumulation of like kind of almost like the anger. I'm surprised, but I'll say it, like it feels like hatred, but it's not. It could be, and like there's like just all these type of like thing that wants to be released. What's the best way of releasing something like that?
Yeah. So check in with your whiteboard around how much this is generational.
It's about 60.
Okay. So what we can do is this is the governing meridian right between your nose and your upper lip. So pressing there and sweeping your hand over your head to rest on the back of your neck, you're going to do that 6 or 7 times. And press and sweep. And we're going to clear this across all time, space, dimensions, alternate realities, and universes. 15 generations back, 15 generations forward. 10 lifetimes back, 10 lifetimes forward. Down to a cellular level. And you're choosing this now. You're claiming it now, and it is done now. So there was a lot of energy around the generational, not as much as the lifetime. So how does it feel now, that 60%? Has that removed a lot or all?
I feel lighter.
Good. That may be, there's also a lot going on in the world right now. And everybody on this call, you are highly sensitive beings. You're empaths, you're light workers. And our job is to be here to change a lot of stuff. So unfortunately, we feel a lot of stuff. And I used to teach energy healing, and a lot of healers, Reiki masters, all of those things will teach to shield or put up like a white light of protection. I don't teach that anymore. Oftentimes, when we're doing that, we're taking the stance of and we're activating that victim archetype, because we're assuming the role of people are out to get me. I have to protect myself. And unfortunately, with us being bioenergetic beings, we're quantum entangled with so many things, people, places in our reality. If we're at the stance of, I have to protect myself, then the universe, our reticular activating system will go, oh, you feel like you have to protect yourself, so I'll give you things in your reality that you have to protect yourself from. Instead, what I suggest is to drop your boundaries, because we're energy. Instead of having these shields and walls and we have to guard and protect, instead of that, we just drop our energy. We become energy. So if anything is coming at us, and thought patterns are energy, thoughts are energy. So even if somebody thinks something you're in your direction, that thought, that energy comes to you. If you feel like there's a lot of energy attached to your body, we talked a little bit about, you can sage, you can smudge, you can have a bath or a shower. That's really good. Mary's shifting some energy. That is good. But the other really powerful tool is to drop your boundaries. You're going to drop all of the matter around you. So you become purely energy. So anything directed at you will now, instead of bouncing off and reacting, you don't want to react to your environment, you want to create your environment. So instead of that happening, you're just dropping your boundaries. So whatever comes at you just floats on by, goes right through you. So there's no reaction. Does that make sense? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And oftentimes money can be a reaction. Isn't that interesting? How reactive have you been to money? How much bigger than you have you made money? Yeah. And if you take out that energy, and if you choose to now be the creator of your reality, of your money story, how available does that feel? Okay. So pulling in energy, and what I like to, I've called it Goldilocks energy. So we feel if there is too much energy, and this energy can be good or not so good, but if there's too much energy, we don't want that. If there's a depletion of energy, we don't want that. We want a balance of energy. And we want to be able to have this ebb and flow, just like the waves of the ocean coming to the sand. This ebb and flow. Just like if you're picturing leaves on a tree, the tree doesn't say, whoa, I've got 278 and a half leaves. I can't have any more. No, that's my limit. Or the tree doesn't say, oh, I never have enough. The tree just has leaves. That's just the tree. Yeah, choosing to be the creator of my money reality is 100%. Yay! So that's a celebration. That is a celebration. So be the tree. Be able to move and flow and ebb and flow with the energy of your life. Know that you do get to create what money's coming in. And know that if money is going out, that just means that it's coming back in again. And you get to choose what that amount is, right? We all have an income ceiling, what feels natural, what feels safe, what feels allowed. If you tune into that ceiling and really be honest with yourself. Does this work for me? Or would I rather have something else? Would I rather maybe double that? If you have a $3,000 income ceiling with money, would you maybe rather 6,000? If you have a $10,000 income ceiling, would you rather have 20? What feels good? What feels abundant? And choose to be the creator of that now, because money is not the master. Money is always a servant. So when you're tuning into the energy of money and you claim, this is what I'm now creating, this is what I'm now expecting. I expect to bring in blank amount of money every single month or every single week, whatever feels good for you. Our expectations create our reality. What are you expecting with money? And before we close off, I'll open the floor again for any questions. But I'd really love for you to create another anchor statement of what will you be celebrating the end of February? And I'm going to be doing this every month, you guys. 2022 is going to be an epic year. We're going to create like we've never created before. What will you be celebrating? Hopefully you'll be here with us sharing. Get a sticky note, get a piece of paper, get whatever you want. Paint your walls with chalkboard paint so you can write it all over your walls like I do. What will you be celebrating the end of February? Imagine sitting here on this call with me, with us, sharing that celebration, that creation. What are you choosing to celebrate the end of February? So write that down. Your anchor statement should be short and sweet, kind of like a line of a nursery rhyme or a verse of a nursery rhyme. It can rhyme if you want it to, but you want it kind of sing-songy. And if you want to share yours with us, you can unmute. If you have questions, you can unmute. Oh, love it. Nancy, I'm the Empress of Abundance. Yes. And the Empress is an archetypal pattern. And if you've done work with me before, you know I love the archetypes. You can tune into these archetypes like we talked about a little bit before, but you can now with that anchor of, and I'd like for you to put a specific, I'm the Empress of Abundance, and I now create blank. Put a number there. Get really clear and focused on what you're creating, what you're going to be celebrating the end of February. Mary, how are you doing?
I will be celebrating my speaker engagement and the creation of my physical journals.
Amazing. Good. Now change that to I'm now celebrating.
I'm now celebrating.
Yes. And Mary, you've done a lot of speaking in the past, so you can pull in that energy from the past speaking engagements to know that that's normal. That's your normal, right? Done deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Good. Yay.
Hey.
Anything else you'd like to share, Alana? I think Daisy's still at work. She may not be able to unmute, but now creating and celebrating the launch of my first ebook. Yeah, and photography business launching. Perfect. Super good. Fabulous. There's so much with that. Like we talked about taking what you're creating or what you're going through right now and bringing people into a program to walk them through. I almost did this with my newest book, Emergence. I almost launched a program to bring people into me creating Emergence and helping them create a book at the same time. So you could do that with your ebook. You can also do that with your photography business. I do photography as a hobby now a little bit here and there. So you could bring somebody who's at the hobby level and lead them through the basics. Even like, I don't know if you do selfie, like that's huge, 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 huge. There's so many people coming online and bringing their business online. They don't know how to do, like I'm really bad with selfie photography because I've done photography with studios and lighting. So that was a really big hurdle to overcome with shifting into, I now can do selfies without needing to have a full on backdrop and photography studio in my back pocket, right? So there's lots there. There's lots there. Anybody else have anything to share or any questions before we close?
Just want to say thank you very much. That was really good. Yay. And very helpful. Thank you.
You are so welcome. Thanks for being here. I'm so grateful that you guys showed up and came on today.
Thank you so much, always, Jillian.
You're so
always.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Good to see your smile. Good to see you again. And you guys, I'm going to send you a PDF from today, and you'll also get the recording will be in the group. If you're not in the energetic alignment group, let me know. And it's going to be on, I always usually put the videos on YouTube on an unlisted playlist. So only you with the link will get that. We'll be able to see it. And keep me posted. If you want to send me a little message around what you found most valuable today, keep us posted on your wins. Keep celebrating those wins, no matter what they are. No matter what they are. Celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Get in the habit of celebrating so that brings more celebration energy into your life. Thank you so much, you guys. I'm so grateful that you showed up today. You spent some time with me today on a Saturday. Have a fabulous day, and hopefully I'll see you next month for February's celebration. If you're interested in 2 programs that I have right now, one is content creation, it's Cricket's Cure, and the other one is Choice and Consciousness with Money. Those are 2 programs that I'm launching right now. If you want details, then hit me in the DMs, hit me up in the DMs, and I'll give you info and the deets, and I'll talk to you very soon. Much love to you guys. Take care. Bye for now.